Hi, welcome to Men in God. This is the show where we inspire men to be driven into their purpose and for them to leave a godly legacy. This is the show where we are saying to men, you can make it no matter what. Today we have a special guest in our studio. Muruti, will you please tell us who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Moses Hobe, and I'm a lecturer at the Bible College of the Full Gospel Church of God in Pretoria.
Wow, powerful. I hope you hear Muruti is a lecturer. Muruti, today we have a topic, and our topic, it talks about men and education. Before we go deeper, I just want to know from you, what is man?
That is a tremendous question. And I think it will need to be tackled in different facets. But I think biblically, a man is a leader, is the head of the family. He encompasses all the values that God represents.
Wow, powerful. I hope you hear that. The other question says, what is education?
Well, yeah, I mean, education is education, you know. It is a system whereby I think principles to live by are infused to an individual, whereby those principles guide and support his decision in the journey of life.
Wow, powerful. I just want to quote Benjamin Franklin. He says, education, it is an investment in knowledge, pays the best interest. That's what he says. I just want to find out from you, Muruture, what does this mean? An investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
Well, I think basically what that statement means is that first and foremost, when you are in a journey of educating yourself, there's an investment that you're making, and therefore the outcome of that investment will be paying out in terms of how you conduct yourself and how you make decisions that are supposed to impact on society and on yourself, your immediate society for that matter.
Wow, powerful. I hope you hear, Lapoka, that education, it is an investment. Therefore, make sure that you invest in education. And Muruti, as we are busy talking about this topic, I want to find out, is it important for a man to educate himself?
Well, I think it is critically important. I think education to a man is of critical importance, because once you educate a man, then you will see the fruit of that education not in him only, but to the people around him, because it will overflow. So I think it is critically important that men be educated, and not only for themselves, but I think for those that are immediate and around them.
Wow, powerful.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to know it is that people are saying it is not important for one to get a formal education. You can be able to lead your family without you getting a formal education. What can you say about that?
Well, I think there's a space for formal education, and therefore we cannot altogether, dispute or refute the fact that one needs education, which is formal education, but I think there's a space for formal and informal education. You understand? One can achieve and attain formal education and be a miserable spouse, a miserable husband, of which some could be and can be mentored informally, so through role models and through reading books, and become a good husband and a good spouse and a good parent for that matter. So basically I think we need a balance of the two, not promoting the other and lessen the other, you understand? Because some don't have that opportunity financially wise to pursue and to achieve formal education, but they can still be educated in an informal sense and do better in harnessing and honing their skills to become better leaders and better members of society.
Wow, I hope you understand that because many men out there, because of their backgrounds, they are saying, I don't want to frustrate myself by pushing. Because of my background, I feel that I'm okay. I don't need to study further for me to be a better man. But I want to hear from you, Muruti. What is your take? Is there a specific qualification that one needs to attain for one to be a better man?
Not necessarily. I think life in and of itself is a lesson. There are mistakes that one makes and the mistakes that other people make that could be of great help in making you to become a leader. I don't think one has to be certificated academically to be able to lead a household. You understand? But if one has had the opportunity to do that, that should be a plus, because I would really expect much from such a person than from someone who does not even have any educational or academic background. But there is no academic preparation or qualification that one needs to have. But I would say, yes, some level of education is needed. Hence, there is churches which serve as an institutional background where learning is taking place. Those sermons that are being given every Sunday, for me, they are lessons that has to be embraced so as to be able to run our families better and run our lives and society at large. So therefore, as much as we don't need to have that sense of qualification, we need to have a teachable spirit and a listening ear to learn from those who teach us, pastors for that matter.
Wow, powerful. I hope you understand, you men out there, you don't need a particular institution for you to be convinced that you are now qualified for something. You can go to a church, you can go where you can go for you to acquire knowledge, for you to be a better man. Now, Muruti, I want us to talk about a family. Mm-hmm. There are many people who are saying the reason why most of the marriages are failing today, it is because many people, they haven't gone through the counseling process. How important is counseling?
Well, Muruti, I think premarital counseling as well as postmarital counseling are very significant in terms of mentoring couples into becoming better spouses. And I think within the church sphere, I think we're not giving it that sense of importance, particularly in our black churches, because we think that just by telling them then that's all. But I think marriage is overwhelming. It's more than just giving food and taking care of someone. You need skills, you understand? So I think we need to make counseling the center pillar of our engagement towards helping the would-be couples into becoming husband and wife. And let's not just leave it to them to figure out by themselves and to learn through trial and error, because 95% of the problems that they would encounter would be really dealt with within that space.
So according to your observation, what is the main cause of divorce?
Muruti, I think the main cause of divorce, as far as I'm concerned and through my observation, is pride. Because when there are marital problems and you have a neutral person trying to facilitate reconciliation, you tend to discover that one does not want to humble him or herself, and there is an element of blame shifting and finger pointing, and we don't want to take responsibility to say, I was wrong here. And I think even us as counselors and pastors, we don't have the guts to point a finger and say, you men, you are wrong here, and you women, you are wrong here, so that at the end of the day, you resolve the problem amicably. So I think pride is the greatest element that really causes conflict and divorce in our marriages.
Wow, check in pride. You husband, you father out there, check in pride. It is dangerous. It can cause you to lose your marriage. Muruti, as we're about to close the show, I just want to find out from you, what is it that makes a man the real man?
Well, I think, yeah, this is a very serious and important question. I think what makes a real man, I mean, you know, wealthy men, they will tell you that you need to conquer as much women as you can to prove your manhood. You understand? You go out with slender ones, tall ones, fat ones, and, you know, dark ones, and also all sorts of shapes and that. But I don't think that makes one to become a man. You are, in a sense, dehumanizing yourself and losing your sense of value, in essence. But I think what makes a man a real man, it's a man who is able, when he has made mistakes, to say, I am sorry, humble yourself, apologize, and try to do better next time, rather than, you know, placing yourself in a position where you are unapproachable and no one can say anything to you, and you hide within the cultural dynamics of Ngindot, and that is not going to be helping you. Particularly if you are a churchman within the church space, he should be your head, and you should learn from him those principles that govern you. And I think now teachability is that aspect, as far as I'm concerned, that makes one to become the real man in the real sense of the word. Yes. Wow.
So Kuruma now and daughter, I hope you hear that. You know what? Humble yourself. You will be able to build this family and be a better man if you can learn just to humble yourself. Muruti, as we are about to close, I want you to inspire men. There are men who are watching this show. This is the #1 show. So we want you to inspire them, for them to be driven into their purpose. Just talk to them.
Thank you so much, Muruti. I think I want to take this opportunity to challenge and to encourage our men in our society. I know that men are an endangered species, and they are not trusted, and nobody gives them any pat in the back for what they achieve and what they contribute. So I want to say to you men, don't give up on what you are doing and what you believe is good and true for you. Even as society and the law is not supporting you, I mean, all the rapists are men, and all the thieves and the thugs are men, and the church is populated by women. Men are not given space to have a voice. But you need to understand that God raised you as a man and has infused gifts into your life so as for you to emerge and to rise to become a better man. So there are qualities in you that God has placed so that you may become a leader. So my challenge to you and my encouragement is that become a leader that God made you to be, and don't be fearful no matter what the circumstances. Continue doing better and trust that God is going to bless you as you do that, because you are raised for such a time as this. God bless.
Wow, powerful. Men, you are special to God. So keep your family, protect them, bless them as the head, for them to be able to be a better family. Thank you, Muruti. If people they want to connect with you, where can they find you, Muruti?
Well, I'm basically active on Facebook. People can follow me. On Facebook, I'm just Moses Hobe. And yeah, I'm actively more on Facebook, Muruti.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. This is your #1 talk show, Men in God. So men, we are saying to you, go out there and be better people. Make a difference, because God has called you for a purpose. This is Daveytontv. Please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, and know that this is Daveytontv. We are doing it ourselves. So we love you. May God bless you. Shalom.